Here we go. Let's see how this works. Will that give you the sound you desire? I hope so. As the machine dies before I do. Oh, God. All right, let me put that on. Give you a little microphone. Someone needs a drink. That would be me. Let's crack open a nice, cold, bubbly. Look at this. Look at it. It is freezing out there today, and I am just a giant, steamy mess. Isn't that lovely? Hello, David. How are you? The Davids, we're together once again. Look at me. That is ridiculous. It is not warm outside today, I have to say. I'm actually exercising in a hoodie today because it's so freaking cold in here. Marcos, how are you? And look at that, just on time I get a Discord telling me I've gone live. I won't be long, just a little chat today. I want to talk to Lance, GimpyG Carr today. Want to start doing a little, or what are we calling them? We're calling them the Damn Dirty Ape Chats. And the idea is I want to get all of GimpyG's stories because he's got a ton of them. And I think it might be kind of fun to do it in a live session, and then we can do some transcription and figure it out from there. But let's see what's going on here. Good afternoon, David. Hope you are well. What did we learn during the burn today? Very good. Look at you, straight to the chase. Thank you, Amy. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Mandy. Mandy, hello. Jim the Evo, the steam really adds to the post, doesn't it? Like, look at this. Like, that's my head. That is probably, yeah, they're going to find a little frozen body here. And of course I'm steaming up my glasses, so I can't read the chat. This is a disaster. It's a disaster as always. Jim the Evo is beginning to pick up on the fact that it's all drama around here for me all the time. Hey, James, I'm gonna try a live stream with Lance today. Hoping to start around 4, so I'll probably be still sweaty and gross, but hoping to try. I think I've got the audio stuff sorted out, so I'm hoping to do that. I went metal detecting. Oh, David, that's cool. I want to do that. Detectorists or whatever they call them. We have a bunch of fields in England, in Warwickshire, that belong to my wife, because my wife's dearly departed father, but now hers. So I really want to get a nice metal detector and go out in those fields, because they found Saxon hoards out there and stuff, gold and stuff. There's gold in those fields of cow poop. Speaking of cow poop, like, look at this. I literally look like a steaming pile of you-know-what, don't I? Yeah. That would fall out of the end of a cow. Technologists or detectorologists. Hello, David. I am working hard, Janelle. It's true, I am. I've done a good workout today. I should let everyone know this is my Burn&Learn. This is my bid to stay alive and fit long enough to enjoy the old age that I have coming, or I'm already in, with my brilliant wife, Jane, and my fabulous son, Sebastian, and that wretched dog. I hate exercise, so I like to learn something while I'm doing it. This time I'm learning Madness and Memory, a book by Stanley B. Prusiner, which was recommended to me by James R. Gurney, who's a fabulous recommender of books and more. And so today, what did I learn? Well, first off, I did my 50 minutes backwards, 50 minutes forward. I was going to take it easy. This was weird today. I was like, you know what? I am not feeling it today. I'm a little off. I feel like a little, winter flu-y. And I thought, I'll go easy today. But I got on and I started doing the backwards one. The backwards one is a little lower anyways on tension, so I did that. And then I thought, well, I'll start at the high one. And then, of course, I'm so competitive, even with myself, that I was like, well, you can't stop. So I did the whole thing as normal, so that's pretty good. Trey's out for a walk. Good for you. That's good. Get the heart pumping. Inspired me to start working out again, Antonio. Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's great. I found some medieval bits. Oh, seriously? That's kind of like that. That's kind of my dream. Well, one of my many dreams, as it turns out. From golden years to old age. I know. I had a little, a steaming brain fog, and I couldn't remember the words. So, hello, Marco. How are you? Your rocket ships. So today, interesting stuff. Again, we're still in this awkward funding phase that Stanley Prusiner, MD, is going through, and it's really eye-opening to me, the amount of issues that they have with the funding. I mean, I feel like they're constantly begging for money, and or having to justify the money they've been given, or it's just a very weird system, and which I guess makes sense. But he's now being funded. He's now thrilled because he's being funded by the Reynolds company. He's literally being funded by a cigarette company right now. And of course, my first instinct, being of my generation, of my anti-smokingness, that I'm like, oh, you took cigarette money? But of course, this is the conundrum that I think you get into with scientific research. It's like, well, what if evil companies give you money to do good things? Like, I don't know. I'm sort of torn on that. Like, how do I feel about that? My friend, fabulous friend, Bonnie Schmidt, who created and runs Let's Talk Science here in Canada, just an amazing organization for teaching kids about science, technology, engineering, and maths, all with these sort of provable, data-driven approach to education and educational outreach and all that kind of stuff. There's a science to it. It's fabulous. But here's the thing. A lot of money that she gets comes from big corporations that are going to include pharmaceutical companies and oil companies and I don't think cigarette companies. I don't think cigarette companies are allowed to fund things here anymore. We're quite strict about that. We used to have the Formula One races used to be done by Du Maurier, and they're gone. The same thing with the tennis things. I don't think we're allowed to do it anyway. Anyway, point being is there's still giant, some would say evil corporations that are destroying our planet and or helping us to destroy our own planets. And do you take money from them if you think you can do something good with it? I am of the mind that you do. I feel that you do. Because in my petulant youth, I would have fought it and said, this is wrong. No, I'll say no to this. Now I'm like, well, the question is it a slippery slope? As long as there are no strings attached, who cares who funds it, really? If it's going to do good for the world, as this obviously did, with the discovery of prions and some insight into all these horrible brain disorders, it's a tough one. What do you guys think about that? I was kind of interesting. I was kind of a little torn on it because as soon as I heard, Reynolds cigarettes, I was like, what the hell? Why is he taking money from them? Surely, what's their angle on it? Like, of course, I'm immediately distrustful of it. So, look, maybe we'll find out more about it. I don't know. But, National Institute of Health, he was getting money from. He was getting money from a couple of other, foundations. I can't remember. Maybe it might be the Hugh. The Hugh, what was it, Howard Hughes organization? Was it Howard Hughes? One or two. I don't know. There were a couple of these big names, Rockefeller-like names that were funding this stuff, and and it's just interesting to think that science needs money to be funded. You can't just run these scientific experiments on goodwill and pats on the shoulder, and you're doing a good thing for our planet. It costs money, and you got to raise that money somehow. And I just think that it must be very difficult to retain control and also, stay independent if you've got these large companies involved in it anyway. So the math of pragmatism, it's heartbreaking to deal with for those that are young. I still have a certain sense. There's a thing I actually learned about. Apparently ADD or ADHD. There is an innate, almost instinctive response against being told what to do, and I realize I absolutely have that. Like I'm like, do not press button. I'm like. I am an abear of rules. I am a coward at heart. But there's just something about people telling me what to do that makes me want to do the opposite. Like, I don't know what it is. And now I think I do know, because it may be this ADHD stuff. So, Shelley Bell, how are you? We knew a fabulous Shelley Bell back in California. She's absolutely wonderful actress and person who helped us out with Sebastian when he was very young, and just absolutely lovely woman. All right. Emer Russell Photography. Hey to you. Is that Italian flag or French flag? I can't tell. Between the difference between my terrible color recognition and stuff. It's Shelley. That's not you, is it? Is that actually you, Shelley? Is that right? It's got to be another Shelley Bell. I can't believe I'm sure Shelley's got better things to do than watch me all sweaty and gross after exercise, but that would be so wild. It's Ireland. I'm so sorry. Okay, I got that totally wrong. Yep. Okay, never mind. Don't test me on flags. Obviously, I failed that part of geography. Hello all, Johnny Wednesday. How are you? As I say, it's going to be a fairly short one today, because I do want to go and talk to I do want to go and talk to Lance about stuff. He's got a storm coming into town. Apparently, another one. That guy, like, it's like he lives in in Indiana. Okay, all right, good. Well, I'm sure Shelley Bell. I'm sure you are just as marvelous. But yes, thank you for having that name, because it just gives me warm, fuzzy feelings about someone who I really absolutely adored when we were back in the LA days. And she was just, and of course Sebastian just absolutely loved her. But anyways, what other exciting things do I have to tell you? A couple more coin orders. I got more. Some people ordered some more of those the coins. So I've got a couple of these going out. This is not the one, but this is the idea. Basically, a little Stargate, as I call it, the Stargate inspired coin. Can I do this? If I do this, does that help? There you go. So you get the Tech Bandits. I'm just messing around with some colors on that. So that's why it looks like that. It's just going to be etched normally, and then there you go. So yeah, I've got a couple of those to ship out, which I'm very excited about. Random League, I hope to meet you someday. Where do you live, Random? Where are we going to hang out? Der Alt Trekkie from Germany. How did I know? Der Alt Trekkie. I'm doing very good. How are you doing? I found a Roman coin medal. Really? What is a Roman coin worth, David? Like, are they? Can you actually? I mean, are they? I mean, obviously, I'm not sure I want to sell it anyways. I just want to keep it. But I'd just be curious to know: is there money to be made in finding old coins and stuff like that? Is that of any use to people? What am I tripping over? My own shoelaces. Wonderful. By the way, this is Captain Calvin Cat. Hey, Captain Calvin Cat from the Twitch stream. Hope you're fine. I'm very good, Deralta Trekkie. Thank you very much, and Captain Calvin Cat. I'll see you on the stream soon. I think we're streaming on. I think I've got it set up to stream on Twitch. I have to check actually. But the idea, I think, is to talk to Lance this afternoon around 4 o'clock, and 4 o'clock my time, and go through some of his amazing stories and catch up with him and all that kind of stuff. You ever make it to the North Bay Sudbury area for filming? I do, absolutely. North Bay. I literally did a film there. Was it this year? I think it was this. Was it? Maybe it was. My chronology is so off, but yes, I was really impressed with North Bay. I got to say, I really enjoyed it. Jiri Kivari says, hi, what do you think of the McKay episode where he would be all alone in Atlantis like Shepard was in season 4 and being hunted by alien-like monster, maybe crawling in vents and proper scary, not PG rated. Horror, I love it. You know me, I love me my horror. I do love me my horror. I've got to say, I've started, get this, I've got so into horror now that I'm actually, along with I could never read one book. I'm far too, there's too many alternate McKays in there, alternate Hewletts in there. So I usually read like 4 or 5 different books at the same time. So for the Burn&Learn, I'm doing this Madness in Memory. I have another book about getting old, which is just so freaking depressing. But it's all about, how do you transition in your older life into different things? I mean, should you be constantly seeking success? No, I'm like, oh my God. Anyways, but kind of an interesting book. Although I've got to say, a little bit of a downer. And the other one is, well, that's just 2 of them. But I got a couple of books on the history of horror. Because I want to know where it came from, I want to know where the inspirations came from, because I would very much like to start doing a little stream about horror movies and run off on a few tangents about that kind of stuff as well. Maybe, I don't know if I want to go movie by movie. I feel like that would be a little bit too. I don't want to do like the Stargate guy reacts to horror movies. I'd rather do something about. I'd love to sort of go behind the scenes of stuff, like why did slasher movies come into vogue when they did, and were there any sort of historical elements there, and let's explore some of the science of that. Do the same thing with zombie stuff and vampires, and then of course there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do with genetics and biotech stuff, like all gone wrong, because horror loves that stuff as well. So Xenos, how are you, Xenos? Good to see you. It's been a long time, John. Big long time. Welcome to my sweaty stream. Okay, I'll just address the elephant in the room. Any word from Amazon? Michael, there's always someone. There's someone every single time that asks this. I almost feel like I should have like a video that just starts playing automatically when someone asks. But no, I've heard nothing. I've heard absolutely nothing. But I'll tell you, the industry is grinding back into action again. I'm already starting to get really bad auditions and stuff, and I'm sure some really good ones as well. But it doesn't seem like we will be doing anything in the way of working before. It sounds like around January, probably mid-January, probably once the Christmas holidays are over, or the winter holidays are over. That's when they'll start. And at that point, I guess people will go back to work and start wondering whether they'll make Stargates and stuff. But no, I've not heard anything about it. I certainly no word to me. Again, I would be the last person to know anyways. I'd get a casting call. That's what I'd get. So, nice sweatshirt, huh? Sea Movement Team, you like that, huh? They were amazing. The people who did this are like, they're not just on my heart, they're in my heart. They were fantastic because, idiot like me comes in and it's like, I got to play blind. I got to play, I can't see. And there's just a lot of little things that you can learn as someone who has experience with people who are, either have low sight or no sight. And they were this amazing team trained by Joe Strachey, who was one of the producers and just a truly unbelievably fabulous human being. And they were just so cool about walking us through this stuff. They gave us that we had the canes, we had sticks, we worked with stairs and how to sort of almost grid a space. As you sit down, you'd sit down and you don't, if you're blind, you don't go like, oh, what's out there, and reach onto a desk, because you're going to knock over drinks and things, hot coffees. You start at the edge and you create a grid. So basically you go sort of up and you create a grid of the space and feel what's on there. And then you can sort of, if you want to, you can rearrange them in a place that's easy for you to find. And it was just all these little tips and tricks that you could then incorporate into the performance. And, I almost felt like it was cheating. I always sort of said like they were cheating for me, because if I ever did anything wrong, like, hey, David, we don't do a lot of pointing, like a lot of pointing. And it's like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. They were really good at keeping track of this stuff. So they were a sighted group, but working for an unsighted producer, and they were just fabulous, just amazing at keeping a handle on that stuff. And it was, oh god, it was so much fun. It was so much fun for many, many reasons. The big one being just sort of reuniting with Jason after our big blow-ups in the past. It was just really lovely to have him back as a friend again. It's just fabulous. Oh, by the way, were you in some way, shape, or form involved in the strikes? Are you in the SAG-AFTRA union? Yes, I am a SAG actor, but because I am based in Toronto and was an ACTRA member, I guess, before, like that's the union up here, or the guild up here, apparently it didn't apply to me. But the reality is all of my work is American for the most part anyways, or most of it's American, or at least American related in some way. So it basically shut down for me as well. So if Stargate lasted a few more seasons, a chief villain would have become a human multi-billionaire who wanted to use the alien tech to add to his profit and power. Okay. I'll take your word for it, William. Take your word for it. If you would be great, so it would be great, though. Just imagine the backstory of what you were doing all this time. I imagine you would have been locked up in an area. Well, there's a ton of stuff you can do. There's a ton of amazing stuff you could do with a Stargate reboot. But it's also, it's what do people want? You know what I mean? Do they want to bring back? Do they want to bring back the old audience? Do they want to bring back? Or, most likely they're going to want like some young, sexy group. My pitch, and I say this, I think I say this like every single Burn and Learn now, but my pitch would be that we do Stargate Academy. We have Sam Carter running it. She's the principal. I'll be the vice principal, like Snape, and I'll just be a pain in the ass the whole time, a terrible teacher, miserable with the students, and then every so often we have to go off on missions. But the kids do all the sort of the exercise stuff. I'll wheel around on a walker or something like that. Speaking of which, I've got to wheel away on a walker right now, because I'm going to now go and transition. This is like magic. I will transition from this in my little cold garage. I will transition from a freezing cold Hewlett to a nice warm and toasty Hewlett upstairs in the sitting room where I'm gonna have a chat with Lance. So I will join you on stream in the next probably 15 or 20 minutes, and I look forward to talking about Lance and all of his stuff going on, and I'm sure there'll be other questions as well, which I look forward to as well. Stargate reboot, yet continuation. Look, I've been pitching Stargate McKay from day one. So, there you go. All right, everyone. Be safe, be kind, be brilliant. Until we geek again, I will say cheerio and huzzah. Thank you very much. Go check out techbandits.org. Please go sign up for the email of awesomeness, and then you will have